So you have the book right in front of you, and I don't know if people can see the image well. I have it in front of me too, and you can see it better. What really sticks out in that image is an American flag. Maybe people can see it. Or you could Google Damn the Valley, the book, and you could see the image right there. Tell me the story of that picture, because I know it's not just a random snapshot that was taken.
No, that is taken on the battlefield to where that flag was actually in this cover picture that's shown. They're pulling it out, but the instance they're pulling it out of a group of rubble. But the instance and what had happened was the enemy had driven a 1,000-pound vehicle IED, so just a vehicle laden with explosives, about 1,000 pounds of it, right up to as far as they could up to the gate of where second platoon was staying, and they detonated it. So essentially flattening most of the compound that the guys were in. It ended up burying a lot of the guys alive. It killed a group of 3 Afghan children that were there. And, after everybody was recovered and pulled out of there and medevaced and things were calming down, they're going through and they're recovering everything else within that particular compound. They saw the flag, kind of buried, and it didn't sit right. And it was Brian Erickson, I want to say it was Eli Rivera and Rodney Garcia. That's who's pictured as Erickson and Rivera pulling that flag out to fly it back above and kind of show them that, hey, we're here to stay. You're not moving us. You might knock us down, but we're here to stay. And that was something too that in the making of this that really became special is once Erickson had found that I was using this as the cover photo, and really it was because that exemplified our feeling, the feeling of the guys throughout this deployment is like, no matter what, we're here to stay. You're not gonna, you can beat us up, but you're not gonna keep us down. He came forward and was like, I have that flag. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, he's like, no, I recovered that flag. I brought it home with us. That means something to me. And I was wondering if there's any way we could use it for this particular project. And I'm like, well, let me see if maybe we can get it into the unit case. Maybe we can have you bring it down there and, turn it over, because that's just part of that unit history. I think that's something that's important to preserve. And through one thing or another, it didn't happen that way, to where we couldn't get a hold of the right authorities within the unit to do that. And it ended up to where the Airborne and Special Operations Museum in town, we had held a ceremony there after we came back, and there's a paver of all the guys that we lost, that the battalion lost, out in front of the Airborne and Special Operations Museum. So I tried them next, and I called them, and crazy enough, just the curator picked up the phone. It wasn't even like the front desk people. I guess he was like passing by, nobody else was there, and he picked it up. And I go into my pitch, as soon as I find out he's the curator, and the phone just goes silent. After like 30 seconds, I'm like, all right, is this guy still on, or did he hang up on me? And I'm like, he just, one thing led to another, and he's just, I've been waiting for this phone call. And it was just a fact of, he's like, there's nothing from Afghanistan. The unit historians that they used to have, that they brought it around with them, and so that doesn't exist anymore. That program doesn't exist. So, I mean, you have to extrapolate something like that either from the AARs that they have out there, which is the after action review paperwork they send up. Do they really have everything on what really happened in there? You'd have to go through every leader's book. You'd have to talk to everyone to really get the stories down to this level on what really happened. So, he saw the value in that. And again, one thing led to another. And there we were on the book launch day, presenting the flag over to be put into the DoD historical archives, which now it's part of the collection down at the Airborne Museum, and a bunch of other stuff from those stories. Pretty amazing.
I can't think of a better home for it, actually. Fortuitous, too, that it was on the book launch as well.